Welcome to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. This podcast is dedicated to EAS employees of the U.S. Postal Service and members of the National Association of Postal Supervisors. So, pour yourself a cup of coffee and join us for today's episode. And now, here's your host, Robert Wakefield.
Good morning, Branch 32, and good morning to all of our EAS friends across the country. Welcome to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast presented by the Nashville Post Office Credit Union. I'm your host, that's right, your host, the one that you come to every week. I'm Robert Wakefield, president of Branch 32. Thank you so much. How stupid was that? Oh my goodness. Well, I sure am glad you're here. We got a great show lined up for you. So let's go ahead and pour that first cup. Summer is here, and what better way to celebrate and to beat the heat than with a delicious serving of ice cream? That's right, Brian Wagner, did you hear that? We are excited to announce that we will be offering ice cream every day throughout June, July, and August to continue our celebration of 100 years of service. Stop by and treat yourself to a little taste of summer and enter for a drawing for a Ninja Creamery machine at the end of our celebration. The Nashville Post Office Credit Union. People helping people since 1925. And for our first cup this morning, I'm really excited to have a guest on the program, a guy that I've met a few times at either national conventions or LTS. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome the Eastern Region Vice President, Richard Green. Richard, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, man, and it's great to have opportunity to talk to you guys about what's going on in the world of NAPS and in the world of the United States Postal Service.
That's great. Well, listen, we really appreciate you being on the Saturday Cup of Joe. Let me ask you this question. Were you very, very excited when you got the invitation to be on this podcast?
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's I was surprised to get the call, but then also understanding that, you know, we as national officers on the board, our members across the country want to hear from us what we're thinking, where we're at as a board, and what's the vision for NAPS moving into the future.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I was just kidding about the being thrilled part. We're just making that up. But we're glad to have you. Now, the reason I wanted to talk to you about, especially this week, is because of your article in the Postal Supervisors, the July 2025 edition. And the name of your article was Excited About the Future. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. But in your article, you wrote a little bit about the Delivering for America plan. And I wanted to know, from an executive board standpoint, what was it like dealing with the former PMG?
Well, you know, there was some difficulty in that, of course. You know, one thing that all of our leaders over at Postal Headquarters have always said is that, you know, we are a part of the team. NAPS is a part of the team. Mm-hmm. Well, I believe if we're a part of the team, that it's important that we have conversations around issues that impact our members. And when we're not willing to sit at the table and have constructive conversations about things that impact our membership across the country, that's very concerning for us as an executive board. And that was just something that was lacking with Mr. DeJoy when he was our Postmaster General.
Was it a continuing problem? Were other members of USPS headquarters more cordial than he was, or was it just the whole culture that he went through?
Yeah, I think it was more so a culture being driven by the leader of the organization. Okay. And unfortunately, when you have that type of culture, it just leads to a lack of communication. And, you know, the United States Postal Service is in the communication business. So when you're not communicating, that's very frustrating for us as an organization.
It really is. Now, you are the Eastern Region Vice President. How long have you been the president of the Eastern Region?
I've been the Eastern Region Vice President since 2016, so
Okay.
almost 10 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Almost 10 years. So you've had plenty of experience in working with not only DeJoy, but who was before him? I forgot. Who was the PMG?
Megan
Oh,
Brennan.
Megan. Yeah, you worked with Megan too. Yeah. How was that?
Yeah. It was good. You know, we had challenging conversations, but she was willing to come and speak with us. And, you know, I'm not saying that we're always going to agree on everything, but we should always be willing to sit down at the table and even have the tough conversations when we have to have them. It's okay to agree to disagree,
Exactly.
but it's not okay to have conversations.
Right. And I think that's the important thing. You made a great point, Richard, about we're in the communication business, and yet sometimes we're the worst communicators ever. And that's very, very frustrating.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is. So we have a new Postmaster General coming aboard. His name is David Steiner, and he's the next one that is coming aboard. He's got a FedEx background of sorts and some kind of, I think he's got some logistical background maybe. I can't remember if that's what he has. But anyway, he's I don't know exactly when he's coming aboard. Do you know when that's going to be?
I believe it's either this week or next week. It's pretty close to the point where he's going to be officially coming on board.
Oh, okay. So it's very, very close. By the time this airs, he may already be the Postmaster General. So let me ask you this right here. I'm gonna put you on the spot here, Richard, and I'm going to let you have 3 wishes of what you would like to see from our next PMG. What would they be?
The 3 things that are important to me as a former senior leader in the organization. I retired as a level 25 plume, so very much interested in what vision he's going to bring. But the 3 things from an EAS perspective that I think are so important is that, first off, I would like to see the new PMG acknowledge that all EAS, and that means NAPS members, are truly a part of the leadership team. That's very important. I think that we speak that language, but we need to start walking what we're talking.
Okay.
So that's
number one. Let's talk about that for a second. So you think it's important that the new PMG actually treats NAPS as part of the leadership team as in helping form decisions, or at least asking our opinion on things.
Absolutely. I think we need to be a part of the team when sitting at the table when decisions are being made that are impacting the organizations. We are where the rubber meets the road for the organization. We drive the decisions that are made at postal headquarters, management, officials, EAS. We drive those decisions down at the supervisory level, at the manager level, at the postmaster level. We make those decisions come through to fruition.
That's exactly right.
I think it's important that the senior leadership team at postal headquarters acknowledges that, brings us to the table so we can share with them our expertise, our members' expertise,
right,
when the issues come to the forefront that need to be worked on across the organization.
Okay, I love that. So wish number 1 was being a part of the leadership team. What is your wish number 2?
I guess the thing that's important to me and always has been important to me is the service that we provide to the American public.
Right.
For so long, we've been recognized as the most trusted government agency. And now that trust is being broken because we're not providing the level of service that we've always provided for the American public. And service is being degraded by some of the decisions that are being made at the senior leadership level of the company.
Yeah.
I would hope that we would relook at the decisions that we've made. We're actually a service, not a business. Mm-hmm. And our job is to provide the best and most competent service that we can provide to the American public. So that's the second thing that I would like Mr. Steiner to take a look at.
Let me ask you this question that's related to that, Richard. Do you think, and this is just your personal opinion, do you think that the Delivery for America plan will continue, or do you think that it'll erode away?
I'm not sure. Every event that I've had the opportunity to go to, or events that I've led, the message that we keep hearing from senior leadership at the Postal Service, that is full steam ahead with the Delivering for America plan. And as I shared in my article, I wish I disagree with everything policy-wise that Mr. DeJoy put forward in the Delivering for America plan. I wish him well, because that's a tough job that he had, and he served well in his 5 years in the job. But policy-wise, I disagree with it because it degraded service to the American public, and to me, that's where where you butter your bread. The service that you provide determines how well you're perceived by the American public.
Exactly right. So wish number one was be a part of the leadership team. Wish number two is that the service be restored to the service levels that we used to enjoy. What is your wish number three?
Well, of course, our membership is concerned about paying benefits, right? Mm-hmm. So I would hope that the new Postmaster General will be willing to sit down with NAP's headquarters and come up with a more fairer way to compensate EAS employees.
Amen.
We're the only group of federal employees whose pay is based on a pay for performance system. No other federal employee deals with a pay for performance system, and I just believe that's just not fair to our membership. And there has to be a better way. I think that's a situation that can be negotiated between NAP's headquarters and the United States Postal Service. And I'm just hopeful. I'm optimistic that we can sit down at the table and come up with a more fairer system to pay EAS employees.
Exactly right. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about this week, because of your article, Excited About the Future. I think the future can be exciting. And with those three wishes that you've just given us, I think that those are some possibilities that could go a long way.
Well, definitely. I think so, too. And the thing about it is that there's always an opportunity to sit down at the table and have conversations.
Right.
And I believe this is a new season for the United States Postal Service, with a new Postmaster General coming on board. It's an opportunity for a new season with NAPS, with us engaging with the new Postmaster General in a way that is beneficial not only to the American public, but to each and every one of our members across the country.
Fantastic. Richard, thank you so much for being a part of the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. We really appreciate you being on.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Have a great day.
Banking should be made simple. That's why Ollie, the Nashville Post Office Credit Union's virtual assistant, is here, ready to help 24/7. Need quick answers? Ollie delivers secure, instant solutions right at your fingertips. No wait times, no hassle, just smart banking made easy. Whether you're managing your finances, exploring loan options, or just need guidance, Ollie is always ready to assist, wherever and whenever you need. The Nashville Post Office Credit Union, people helping people since 1925. And for our second cup, you know that if you're a regular listener of the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast, I always like the second cup to be, something a little lighter, something fun, sometimes entertaining, and sometimes not. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you today that on July the 26th, today, is National Coffee Milkshake Day. Did you hear that, Brian Wagner? It's coffee mixed with ice cream in a milkshake, and it's all celebrated on today's date. Every July 26th is National Coffee Milkshake Day. You can find this on the nationaldaycalendar.com. And this is what tickled me about it. It says here, how to observe National Coffee Milkshake Day. Invite some friends to mix up coffee milkshakes in every flavor. Gather around the pool or take a walk while you enjoy your frozen pick-me-ups. And rather than staying up all night, make up decaf versions. These treats also make excellent substitutes for hot coffee at book clubs or other gatherings where beverages are served. You can use hashtag Coffee Milkshake Day to post it on social media. Okay, well listen, happy National Coffee Milkshake Day to every one of you. And thank you for listening to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast presented by the Nashville Post Office Credit Union. Now listen, you know I've been asking people to get in touch with the show. You can do that a couple of ways. You can do that through the email address that's at the end of this broadcast. And you can also go to SaturdayCupOfJoe.podbean, that's PODBEAN.com, and comment right there on the website. A couple of ways you can get a hold of the show. We'd love to hear from you, love to know where you're from. So thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. I'm Robert Wakefield, and remember, every great weekend starts with a great cup of Joe. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. Please note that the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of Robert Wakefield and do not necessarily reflect the views of the National Association of Postal Supervisors. We welcome your questions and comments, so send those to SaturdayCupOfJoe@gmail.com.